Otakus Geeks.
Hey guys, Justin here from OtakusGeeks.com, welcoming you to our new feature which is called Underrated Video Games You Should Play. So to kick things off, I wanted to go into the James Bond games, and one of the games that I felt was very underrated for the Bond franchise was 007 Bloodstone. And for me, I think, when people think of Bond games, they think of GoldenEye. That's the first game that comes to their mind. Say, hey, GoldenEye. GoldenEye was such a revolutionary game. But one thing I feel is that Bloodstone was actually did something that I felt GoldenEye didn't really do, is actually capture the spirit and the feel of James Bond. And I'm going to explain myself before you guys start trolling me and, bringing out the torches. One thing the developers, I remember talking to them at New York Comic Con, believe back in 2010, is that they wanted to capture the essence of James Bond. And they wanted to capture the feel of you being James Bond, and they used Daniel Craig's Bond as the perfect, Bond to get their goal out there, because Daniel Craig's Bond is more aggressive, he's more lethal, he's less stealthy and more shoot first and more brutal, more of a brawler. And this game really captures that, because you're gonna see throughout the gameplay when you guys decide to play it is that Bond, yes, he sneaks around, yes, he hacks things, but he's also very lethal when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. And that's what this game tried to really capture, is the feel of the actual character. Playing this game, I actually felt that I was Daniel Craig's Bond, and I felt that a lot of 007's games did not do that. It's mainly, okay, yeah, you're James Bond, but this one makes me really feel like I'm Daniel Craig. I'm Daniel Craig on this mission. I'm Daniel Craig's James Bond. And the tactics they use, the cover as you see right here of taking them down. They also have this thing called focus aim, which I'm going to show you momentarily, where you're able to slow down time a little bit to get the proper aim that you want. So I'm going to show you real quick how that works. And this is a third-person game, unlike other previous Bond games, which was first-person. And honestly, this was the 007 game before the flop 007 Legends, which I also have, which I really didn't enjoy. I felt it was more like Call of Duty. And one thing that a lot of 007 games were missing were the vehicles and the chase scenes. And this one does a phenomenal job of giving us a lot of chase sequences throughout the game. And it really makes you feel like you're Bond. I mean, this game, I was about to say movie, but this game actually makes you feel like you're in a movie. From the plot to the story to the voice acting, you have Judi Dench, you have Daniel Craig in there giving phenomenal performances on their characters. And not to mention, the music really adds to the depth of this game. It wasn't done by David Arnold, but it still gives you that Bond feel. And that's something that when you're playing a game that's based on an adaptation of a character, a movie, or story, or book, you want it to give you that feel that you are the character. And I think Bloodstone nailed that perfectly by giving you a great depiction of Daniel Craig's Bond. You have the vehicles, you have the fight sequences, you even have cutscenes with Bond with the ladies, and you have Bond drinking, you have Bond being James Bond that we know and love, that the ones that we have grown up to love. And I think that Bloodstone did a really great job of it. Yes, it's a third-person shooter, and the gameplay-wise, it's your basic third-person shooter with the duck and cover. You get to regenerate, you heal, but if you put on 007 level, it's a one-shot kill type of deal, and it's a very challenging game throughout. And there's a lot of fight sequences, and I know a lot of people felt that there was too much, less stealth and more shoot 'em up. But if you really look at Daniel Craig's Bond, he's not really doing that much stealth, and he's usually just shooting up and having fist fights and everything else. So I felt that this game really did capture the Bond franchise very, very well. And not to mention, the graphics are beautiful, the music is stunning, the voice acting is great. The controls were easy to handle. Unfortunately, it's not that lengthy of a game. It's probably like a good 10-hour game, but I really did enjoy myself with this. It's very underrated. When you think of Bond games, I think of GoldenEye and I think of Bloodstone. So if you have never checked out Bloodstones, I really suggest that you check it out. It is a great Bond game. It could be a little bit repetitive from time to time, but what video game isn't? It has great special effects, it has great graphics, great cast, great music, great story, by the way. Unfortunately, we're never going to get a sequel because the developers are out of business, but maybe somebody will pick it up and take the reins and get us back to Bloodstone universe, which I felt was really good. Joss Stone does a great opening sequence song. I will even say it's up there in my top 5 next to Adele's, but unfortunately I didn't feature it into my Bond songs because it's not in the Bond movie, but you guys gotta check it out. This is Justin from OtakusGeeks.com saying later days, underrated video game you should play, James Bond 007 Bloodstone.